Hello, everybody online as well. Well, we'll get started here, and I'm going to have Linda kick us off.
Okay. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. No, I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Big finish. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. You're welcome. It's always a pleasure having you here. And I'm lucky because we're just being funny. It's so good. Thank you all for being with us today on this beautiful, warm, sunny day out there. I love it. And I think we have online, do we have Catherine or Pamela? Catherine. Hello, Catherine is our practitioner of the day online. So for anybody new, my name is Reverend Tamara. I'm the spiritual director here. And if you are new, we do have our board president, Sandy, in the green with her hand. Yay. Sandy, I know, she's doing a fabulous job as our board president. And look at the name tag she created for people today. I love it. They're beautiful. But she doesn't think I like them, so she didn't make me one, but that's okay. I won't cry a tear at all. No, Sandy, you did a fabulous job. I love it. Thank you. So as we just take this time today, let's just settle into this moment and take a breath together. Breathing in and out. That slow and steady pace. Connecting. So as we begin this sacred time together, I invite you to be turning towards the inward self. And with our hearts full of gratitude, we pause to acknowledge the sacred ground we're privileged to stand upon. For me, I give thanks to the first people for their enduring love, wisdom, and stewardship of this land. The unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including Katsi, Kwantlen, and Semiahmoo nations. We also honor the many other Indigenous nations who now call this region home. And we recognize the richness they bring to the community of White Rock, Surrey, and beyond. And may this land acknowledgement be more than words. Just may it be a reminder of our shared responsibility to walk gently, to listen deeply, and to live in right relationship with one another and this earth. At CSL White Rock, we hold a vision of a loving, vibrant world that works for all. And as a spiritual community, we're committed to moving forward with understanding, compassion, and harmony. As our teaching is based on the science of mind, it's a spiritual philosophy that honors the universal truths found in all faith traditions. And we believe that each of us are a unique expression of the divine. And we are here to awaken to that truth, to live from that inside out, to be peace, to be love, and to bring our highest selves forward. So again, I say welcome. If you've been here, you're here for the first time, or you've been here, part of this community for years, know that you are home, you are loved. So now I'd love to bring speaking of love, we'll bring up our wonderful Diane Vachon to do meditation. You don't like holding, do you, Diane? Just leave it? Okay. You manage? Okay.
Good morning, everybody. All right. Yes, I can hear my voice. So this time here, where we go within. We quiet our mind through the breath of life, of love, of wisdom, of joy, that is breathing through, in, and as each one of us. If your mind get distracted, just come back to the breathing. And then we'll read again something I read to you from Joel Goldsmith a few months ago that I really love. And this morning it felt like, let's hear it again. I turn within. I am not turning up to the sky. I am not turning anywhere outside of my own being. I am not looking around for holy temples or holy teachers or holy books. I am turning within. Here I am. The very seat and source of God is within me, the abiding place of God. God is within the inner sanctuary of my own being. I am seeking thy kingdom, thy grace. Really, what I am seeking is the assurance that you are closer than breathing and nearer than hands and feet. And you know my need, and that it is your good pleasure to give me the kingdom. So I am praying in secret. I am not letting any man know that I am praying. I am not letting any man know that what things I have need of. I turn within, and if this teaching is true, then God is right here. God is right here. And I need go no further than right here where I am. I must know what it is that I am going for thy grace, for the realization of thy presence. I accept the truth that the place whereon I stand is holy ground, because God is here. God is here. I accept God as omnipresence. I accept God as omniscience, the all-wisdom, knowing what things I have need of. I accept God as love, whose good pleasure is to give me the kingdom. So, we open our heart to receive this wisdom, this teaching of love and wisdom and connection with spirit within. God is always there within us. God is around us. God is in everyone that we meet, in everything that we see, in every stars and planets. So we bring this opening of the heart with such gratitude for knowing this truth. This truth that never change, never fail us. I am willing to deepen my connection with spirit within to a level that I never experienced before. Oh, such a blessing to know this. And slowly we become aware of our surroundings, opening our eyes. Namaste, everybody.
We are good. We are born good. We arrive good. Straight from the light. We are spirit on a soul's quest, never ending in our sight. With every moment that we grow in our eagerness to know, we are polishing the stone. Find the good, feel the love in every situation. With our will, with our hearts, we will find elation. We are good. we forget. Sometimes we're balancing through life without a net. And in the quiet, we'll recall the beginning of it all. With every high and every low, as we make our way back home, we are polishing the stone. Find the good, feel the love in every situation. With our will, with our hearts, we will find elation. We are good. We are born good. We arrive good, straight from the light. We are spirit on a soul's quest, with no ending in our sight. With every moment that we grow in our eagerness to know, we are polishing the stone. We are polishing the stone. We are polishing the stone. Thank you.
That is beautiful. Wow. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
As usual, fabulous. Did you write that one?
Yes.
Yay! Finally. Polishing the stone. Well, good morning, everyone, again. It's, so lovely to be here today and be in community and hear the fabulous music and see all the smiling faces in person and online. So thank you again for being with us. So today we're talking about don't take anything personally. And, we're working this month on the 4 agreements. And I kind of took a short poll about the 4 different agreements, about what people found was the hardest one. You may be surprised that I thought impeccable with your word, but it's actually this one, not taking anything personally. It is so challenging. So it, might be one of the misunderstood teachings in spiritual life, and yet one of the most liberating. We suffer because we forget our divine identity. So let's talk about and explore how we can stop carrying what isn't ours and come home to our truth. Because we tend to suffer sometimes when we touch into other people's opinions and thoughts about us. And we're conditioned as we grow up. How many heard, "You're too much. Don't be so noisy. Children should be, seen and not heard." There's all those conditionings, those domestications that we received as children growing up. So they kind of linger in behind. We might not think about them all the time, but there's there. So in 2, we can also absorb people's moods, comments, and criticisms, right? That we take on, even though that's somebody else's story, I can take it on myself. I'm, even starting to be a minister. My mom looked at me, and love her dearly. She's a darling. Please do not have any judgment about her. But she said, "Why are you doing this? Nobody else in the family does this." Right? I'm like, well, but those things that, how often do I play that back? Why are you doing this? Nobody else does this. Are you a little bit loony? Maybe, but But we're not here to be those emotional sponges. We're here to stand in our center of our spiritual power and clarity. And I loved Diane's meditation today, because what she was talking about is touching that divine place within us. That is where our core is. That is the remembering who each of us are without thinking about who everybody else is and what their opinion of me is. Has anybody ever read that book by one of our gurus of the teaching, Terry Cole Whitaker? What you think of me is none of my business, right? It's not, because how you're looking at me, or I'm looking at you even, I'll just put it on myself, how I may be looking at the world is through my own lens, through my own context of things, my own stories that have been told to me. So when I maybe say something incorrect, well, maybe not, or I say something that may hurt somebody's feelings, or I'm a bit sharp or snappy, that's because there's something in me that's upset. And that's the same if somebody else comes up to you and says something, maybe not in the nicest tone. We just don't know what kind of day they're having. What is in behind that? What's going on with them? Why are they maybe not grounded in spiritual principle at that moment? And maybe they are. Maybe for them, that is what it is at that moment. So when we go to what you think of me is none of my business, what does that mean to you? Right? Because it's going to mean something for each other, for each person. And knowing that when people say things, that it's not personal, that it is that projection sometimes out. That projection that is often pain looking for a place to land. And sometimes we're just in the way. When we are with somebody and they're in a mood and they'll just snap at us or do whatever, it's just because we're there. And what do they say about children? That sometimes they know they can say kind of mean things to parents because they know that we'll love them anyways. That unconditional love is always there, or sometimes always meanest to the person that we love the most. Sometimes, not all the time. Right? So it's that projection. And for me, this really came about, thinking about this topic was a few years ago. I had a dear friend pass away. And the night of her funeral, I went to this event and to celebrate her, and we're all having a good time. But this was a time that somebody I thought was one of my dear friends came up to me and said, you're the most horrible person I've ever met. And she went on to go up one side of me and down the other at my friend's funeral. I know, it's right. And in that moment, I wish I could have remembered this agreement. In this moment, I wish I did not let my little girl, my little ego, be so challenged that I was bawling my eyes out and I left through the back door. My husband didn't even know I'd left. So he came home later going, what happened? And my children were home, and luckily they consoled me as I was a bit of a mess, because this changed the whole last 8 years of our friendship and what I thought was true, and then I found out wasn't true, that they were just pretending this whole time to like me. I know, it's a long time. Yes, it's kind of crazy. So it's those things, though, because I reacted, my ego was hurt, I was upset, and I forgot the truth of who I was. I know those words that she was projecting onto me wasn't the truth of who I am. I know that. I know that I am a divine expression of that one mind. I am here, this human spirit, spirit having this human experience. And that was definitely a human experience. It's taken me a long time to work through that, work through that pain and suffering, and sometimes the hiding out and noticing, do I sometimes get close to people, or do I stop myself because of that situation? Does that old story play in my head? But the thing is, that's not my story. That's not who I know myself to be. So it's moving out of that feeling of hurt, right? That the feeling of hurt was real. But the story I wrapped around it, that I wasn't good enough or lovable, that is that invitation. Because what she did is she touched a wound in me that I possibly, maybe, believe about myself. Right? Because that's the only way that if there wasn't that wound in there, it would have, like, what do they say, water off a duck, right? Just slid right off. But I took it on because there was part of me that went, oh, she's right. How does she know? Is she clairvoyant? Right? So how do I know this? So if I feel pain about that, it's about time to letting it go. And it's an invitation to be honest with myself and ask myself, what in me needs to be healed? What in me needs to be healed? And the thing with this topic too, this agreement is not about spiritual bypass or bypassing the pain. It's not about saying, I'm fine, I'm light, while stuffing my emotions down. Because what happens when I'm not releasing, then I'm repressing it. And guess where it goes, people? Right? Maybe in somebody's hip. That one for moving forward. And that's it. When we repress, that's what happens. That spiritual 2x4 shows up. Goes, oh, you didn't get it this time. How about this time? And then how about the next time? And then something bigger and bigger shows up. Life keeps knocking a little bit louder. And this is grace in disguise. It's calling us back to be honest with Spirit. And what it calls us back to, you're going to be surprised when I say this, I know it, is that we need a daily spiritual practice to help manage the pain. And it helps us meet the pain where it is and not deny that it happened. Because the denial, you have to feel it to heal it. So it's working through those feelings. Ernest Holmes says, every person is surrounded by a thought atmosphere. It is the direct result of conscious and unconscious thought. It becomes the cause of what comes into our life. So when somebody lashes out, it's not about me. It's about them. Not about value, not about Spirit, but it's about what is going on in their life that is showing up. Now, it doesn't mean that we ignore bad behavior or what we deem as bad behavior, right? There's the judgment, that duality. But it's that we don't absorb it, we don't excuse it, and we don't spiritualize it away. We respond with truth and clarity and ask, is this mine to carry? Right? Imagine that backpack that we, used to go to school with, and everybody's thoughts and opinions of us would be put in that backpack. So imagine if you were to put that backpack down. How much weight would be released from you? How much weight would be released from me? So I can say that this is not mine to carry, and I can put it down. So what if you were to ask yourself, is this really about me? When somebody says something, is this really about me? And it's also asking ourselves when we want to say something to somebody else, maybe share our opinion about what we think they should be doing at this moment, right? Is that going to be helpful for them? Is that mine really to say? And remember, because people will showing up, and it's always about that they're doing the best that they can. When will we look at somebody else and say, I know they just showed up doing the best that they can with what they've got right here, right now. And not spiritually bypassing it and not allowing it, but just looking through that eyes of love. That they're helping me polish my stone right now. Right? That they're helping me remember the truth of who I am. They're reminding me to touch base with that divine source that is within. Because there's all sorts of people that say all sorts of things that are not necessarily true unless we allow it to be true, unless we take it in and hold it. But if we can let it go, put it down and bless it and know that is not ours to carry. So this week for homework, that's part of it. How did you guys do last week? Did anybody pick one day to be impeccable with their word? Yes? So, okay, how did it go? Pretty good? Excellent. See, you're being impeccable with your word, not giving yourself. You did the best you could, right? You did the best you could. That's awesome. It's awesome. But this week what you could do is write a letter to yourself from that higher self and write about you are already enough. You are already enough. There's nothing, what do we say all the time? There's nothing outside of us that needs to change for us to be happy. You are enough. You are whole, perfect, and complete, exactly as you are. And what if we practice responding instead of reacting? Responding instead of reacting, right? Because I know I was watching one of the other ministers from New Vision, and she did a talk about this topic. And I laughed because she had a big button on the front of her dress. It was a paper button and it was huge. And she goes, I'm just minding my own business, doing my life, getting up, doing my talk. And then somebody from the congregation ran up and pushed her button. And she goes, it was so good. I was like, could I do that? I don't have time to make a button that big. But she said, that's what happens to us every day. And it's like, oh, that gets pushed. And then again, it just calls us into our spiritual practice. Is this really for me to carry? Is this really about me? How am I feeling in this moment? There's that song, It's All About Me. And in some ways, this taking it personally is because we think everything is all about us. But the thing is, in the truth, it is all about us in the fact that we have to do our own inner work. That's all that's about. It's all about me, is about when I show up, when I go into practice, when I do my meditation, when I do my prayer, my journaling, whatever it is for you, when I take that time to connect inward rather than looking outward. And that's, again, this not taking things personally is about allowing the outward experience to guide my life. And that's not how I want to live my life. I want to live my life from that source, from that divine essence that is always working through me, that is always there. As Ernest Holmes would even say, that best friend within, always there guiding me. So this week, I invite you to write a letter from your higher self about you're already enough. Practice responding instead of reacting, asking yourself, is this about me or is this about them? And the other one is choose one story where you've taken something personally and see if you can shift it. See if you can shift it into something else. I even had this morning a situation come up. I know it's early in the morning, and something showed up in my life that I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get up and speak today in regards to that? Nobody's hurt, everything's there, but it was just something that really triggered me. And I'm like, how do I then move through it? So I lucky have a friend who taught me about tapping, so that helped to get through. I did a spiritual mind treatment, and then I just took time to stand and breathe near a tree, because those always give me extra strength, those trees, right? And that allowed me, by getting myself back to my center and repeating, do not take this personally. This is not about me. This is about them. This is not about me. This is about them. And it's just working through those things, because it's going to happen every day. So it's building our own strategies of what I can do so that when I'm off balance, that I can get back on balance and remember that truth of who I am. Because that's what it's all about. It's about developing that unique relationship with the divine for yourself. because every situation, every person is a little bit different. And that's what makes this world, this universe, so beautiful. Can you imagine if we all walked around the same? We'd be like little robots. This would be so boring. We need those people who come and trigger us every so often. And go, oh, look at that. There's just something else for me to learn today. Yay. I know. I love learning. That's one of my values is learning. And so how does that show up sometimes? Not in maybe ways that I would like it to. So take this today, that knowing that you are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are, and you are enough, and to allow those things that people say. And actually, I forgot to say one thing that I'm going to remind you. Those things that people say, but also those things that I say to myself. Those nasty little comments that sometimes can come through and show up. So it's about being aware, about each day we're moving. Oh, there I go again. Oh, look at that. Oh, there I go again. Look at that thought. And, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Oh, good. I'm not the only one that does that. So just reminding yourself that you are perfect, whole, and complete. And don't get caught up with the word perfection, that everything needs to be in the exact spot. That's not what that's about. That perfection is your heart. It's who you are. Each of us are that unique expression of the one. So today I invite you to stay afterwards and we can talk more about this topic, about not taking things personally. But now I'll just move into spiritual mind treatment. So as I take this time and knowing this truth, that there is one life, one love, one universal essence. It is love, it is wisdom, it is clarity, it is peace. And it lives in me right here, right now. And as I know that it lives in me, I know that it lives in each one of you here today. So I declare that we are free from the need to carry what is not ours. We release any burdens of misunderstanding, judgment, and emotional reactivity. We root ourselves in truth. Affirm our divinity. Affirm that we can come home to center, to clarify, to be in peace. So today I claim that peace and compassion for self, that self-love, the self-care that is so needed as the world throws things at us daily. So today I don't feel selfish to take time for myself. I know that nourishing my soul by doing my daily spiritual practice helps me move through this world centered, grounded, and in that place of love. That place of deep love. So I'm so grateful for today. I'm so grateful for the conversation, for the willingness to step into this second agreement of not taking anything personally. And I allow these words today to flow out into that law of mind that always says yes. I let it be, I let it go, and I ask you to join me in saying, and so it is. Thanks. Now it's Linda's turn again.
Do, 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 do. Don't worry. Do, 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 do. Be happy. Do, 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 do. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some troubles, but when you worry you make it double. So don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head, somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, there's better ones. Be happy. Everybody. Don't worry. Be happy. Easy on a happy summer day. The landlord say your rent is late. He might have to litigate, but don't worry, you get a better place. Be happy. Now this one, you hear somebody talking about you, just mind your own business, that's what you do. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no one to make you smile. Don't worry, no, be happy. 'Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that just brings everybody down. So don't worry, I'm not gonna worry. Be happy. Everybody sing with me now. Don't worry. Be happy. My dad always used to say, be happy. Easier for you to say, I'd say. Don't worry. Now this little song I wish I wrote, you might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, no, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Thank you.
Oh, Linda, that was perfect. It was like the icing on the cake, wasn't it?
Isn't that nice?
Morning,
Thank
everyone. I'm
you.
Paul Johnson. I know that because I have a name tag on. I'm not going to call it a label because we don't want to be wearing labels, do we? Many of you don't know this, but I live in New Westminster. And I'm often on Kingsway, going to home or driving somewhere from home. And right at the corner of Kingsway and 10th Avenue, there's a little veterinarian's office. And there's often a sign out front with community announcements on it, like when the next flea and tick clinic is. And when it's the season to spay my pets, and other important bits that I need to know. Well, there was something, I was driving down the street, there was something on the sign the other day that I noticed that I took interest in because it was like a case study. I found it fascinating. I guess it's a bit of a warning, or if you're a cat owner, take note, please. It told the story of a cat that swallowed an entire ball of yarn. Dangerous. And about 9 weeks later, that poor thing gave birth to an entire litter of tiny little mittens. Yeah, okay, I'll stop. I won't string you along anymore. It was just a yarn after all. Announcements, I'm here to do announcements. You know, I was thinking about announcements, and they're all opportunities for us to get involved in building community with one another and building relationship with one another. This afternoon, just immediately following our gathering this morning at the tables back there, Reverend Tamara and practitioners Diane and Jill are going to get together, and we're going to talk about the talk. We're going to talk about taking the principles that Reverend Tamara talked about this morning and really applying them to our lives, to living them out, to putting shoe leather to them. And that'll be great. So please stay and join us if you can. It'll be great. White Rock Pride is coming up in the next few days, and CSL is involved in that. On Friday, the 18th of July, 5 o'clock, City Hall, the flag raising, and then immediately after that, a car rally that we're going to be involved in. We have a couple cars in it this year. It's going to be great. Is there still room left in your car for one more? there's one more seat in Reverend Tamara's cute little convertible. So if you would like to come with us, talk to Reverend Tamara after the service, after our gathering today. Next Sunday is a potluck, so come and be part of that. Bring food. I like lasagna. Bring food next Sunday. Bring a dish to share and join in conversation and connection. Morning sacred circles won't be offered for the balance of the summer, so just be aware of that. They'll resume in the fall in September. And the last thing, and this is great, you know, in terms of building community, this is going to be so much fun. Put August 24th on your calendar because we're planning a picnic immediately after our gathering in the morning at Redwood Park. The details are going to come. They will be made available as it develops and unfolds. But it's going to be a great time together. Got all those things? 4 things: community building, building relationships, just getting involved in one another's lives. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. Reverend Tamara comes.
I love it when we have people come up and do announcements from our community. Thank you, Paul. And Paul is our vice president on our council, so he's all volunteered and being in charge, so it's great. And also, I want to say thank you. This year, this will be, is that our 3rd or 4th year that we've participated in the Pride Ride? I think it's 4. So, but this year, one of our own congregants, Shelley, donated some money. And so I have actually great big magnets to put on the side of my car that say CSL White Rock and Love Lives Here, and with a pride flag on it. So that was, thank you. Yes. Thank you, Susan. So yeah, so it'll be great. I wanted to say thank you to Shelley. And now I'm going to throw something at, I think Christine, oh, nope, she's not here. Nope, she went out for a sec. Maybe I'll get Sandy to do this. I'm looking for people. We're starting a new committee that I haven't told anybody about, but I've just decided. So so I'm just letting my board president and everybody else know. But well, we've been talking about this a lot, but it is about signing up if you're interested in doing some in-reach in our community. If somebody maybe needs some support with walking a dog, if somebody needs support moving, if somebody needs some support getting groceries because they're not feeling well, if you'd be interested in diving into helping our community, see Sandy and she'll take your name down and we'll start a little email list, and so that we have people that we know that we can count up. Our practitioners are magnificent. They do a lot for our community, but it's great to get more people involved to do that. So if there's some type of service that you'd like to, and we're just starting this committee just today, so your ideas are welcome. Two things. That's how we kind of roll here. My poor practitioners, they just roll their eyes at me, but there we are. So now we'd like to move into the next stage of giving and receiving, as this is a moment in our service when we pause to recognize the power of circulation and the sacred practice of giving. And reminding ourselves that we not give from that place of obligation, but from a consciousness of abundance and gratitude. Giving is an affirmation that we live in a universe that is always supporting us, always providing us, always overflowing us with good. So whether your gift is of time, treasure, or talent, know that it uplifts not only you, but it uplifts this whole community and our spiritual lives. Your giving allows us to say yes. Yes to love, yes to growth, yes to possibility. And it also allows you to say yes to more in your own life. I had a great demonstration from my tithe this month where I was up in Penticton, and somebody had called up to a winery that they knew I was going to and paid for my husband and mine's lunch, unbeknownst to us. Yeah, so that again is a demonstration of allowing and being open to receive. So the more I give, the more I receive. So if it feels right for you, I ask you to place your hand on your heart. And if you have a gift to give today, or just hold the thought of what it is that you're giving, and gently bring to mind a specific good that you would like to experience in your life. Something meaningful, something real. Maybe see it and feel it clearly. And now I invite you to envision a specific good for our beautiful center. Seeing it thriving, sharing, serving. Seeing it filled with joyful, loving people. And know that this good is already on its way. And lastly, let's know peace for the world today. So I ask you to repeat after me our gratitude, our affirmation today, with a grateful heart. I joyfully and mindfully give, knowing that abundance flows through us and our community thrives. As I share, I know I am blessed. And I know you guys know this one. And so it is. Thanks. I invite the ushers to Sandy and Diane to pass the baskets. And I think Linda has a song for us.
I do.
Excellent.
I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed, blessed, blessed. When I wake up in the morning and I lay my head to rest, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed. You are blessed, you are blessed. Every day of your life, you are blessed, blessed, blessed. When you wake up in the morning and you lay your head to rest, you are blessed, you are blessed, you are blessed. We are blessed, we are blessed. Every day of our lives, we are blessed, blessed, blessed. When we wake up in the morning and we lay our heads to rest, we are blessed, we are blessed, we are blessed. One more time. I am blessed, I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed, blessed, blessed. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed. I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed. Woo!
Thank you. I'd like to call up all our practitioners. We have Diane and Jill. Oh, Georgia is on her. Pick one. Oh, yeah, she's on her cruise. She was in Budapest the other day. And I think we have Catherine online. So today's reading for our online, because I forgot to mention, if you we have these joy blessings. If you didn't get one, stop by the basket and grab one, but I'll read one out for our online community today. The opposite of faith is not doubt. Faith and doubt need each other. The opposite of faith is certainty. Brene Brown. That's a deep one. Do some thinking, contemplation to be done, contemplation to be done. So we take a moment and to bless these gifts that have been given freely with love and joy, knowing that they make a difference in this community and out into the world. So I say thank you, thank you, thank you. I let these, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, exactly. Those, if there's only one prayer, it is thank you. I'm so grateful. So I let it be, I let it go, and so it is. And speaking of prayer, we have practitioners here available for prayer afterwards and online. You can message Catherine and she'll put you guys into, open up, she won't put you anywhere. She'll just open up a Zoom room. Oh, Oh, and there's a prayer box. Thank you. If you're in person, and you can put your prayer in the prayer box. Grab Jill or Diane or myself for prayer after service before we start our conversation. But know that they're always there for you. There's also a spot on our website that you can request prayer at any time. So please use that. These lovely ladies love to be in service. And also our wonderful practitioner, Liv, who's, yes, I miss Liv today. So with that, why don't we all stand and do our closing affirmation together? What word am I going to use? All right. I'm thinking. Something wonderful is happening in me right now. It's this thing called life. It's this thing called love. It's this thing called oneness. I know it. I feel it. I express it. I am it, and so it is. I turn it over to Linda for the last song, everyone.
Right.
Thank you.
Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive. It's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive. It's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. One more time. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive. It's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Right here, right now, where I am.
Thank you, Linda. And I guess we can go on your website, lindakidder.com, to find out
Yes,
things.
Please do.
Please
All my
do.
gigs are there.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you for having me.
Aw, it's always so great. Have a wonderful day and stay and chat. I think there's some coffee and there might be some cookies back there, it looks like. So thank you. And everybody online, thank you as well. Wow. Hello, all my Zoom people. Thank you for coming and being with us today. So appreciated. And look forward. If you would like prayer, make sure you connect with Catherine, and we'll make sure that we don't turn the Zoom room off. We're keep